Ever wonder what your day would be like with Boom Radio? Yep, us too. We don't think about nightmares.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. And my name, Dolupo.
My name is Sola Rogers. It's always a pleasure to be here, bringing you news, sports, politics, and everything in between at the Boom Bar.
Okay, so it's very interesting that we're going to be talking about a few things this very interesting afternoon. There's a lot of story updates from the police. I was going to say that generally, I think that kudos to actually the police, the security agencies. They're doing a lot really around the country. We're definitely going to be talking about that. There's an update from, we talked about Governor Akeredolu not being in Ondo State. There's an update from that. And am I the only one that thinks that the president, why is it that the president does not announce stuff during the day? Is he nocturnal?
Is he? Is he?
He needs to answer.
It's always been.
What?
It's always been nocturnal.
Oh,
The president.
how do you know?
Because I know, and he's not eating. Even his close associates will tell you. It's always been nocturnal.
Because I don't understand what.
It's always been. Man is a workaholic.
I'm not saying he's not. Good luck to you. But your announcement, maybe do it during the day.
Well, we'll get to
Web
all of those
platform.
appointments very soon.
Anyway, so we'll be getting through to that as well, and a few other things as time goes on. And also, there's an update from former senators, recently sacked Senator Abbo.
Senator, not senator.
Recently sacked Senator.
Senator, not
Recently sacked Senator Abbo.
God forgive you.
I said what I said. If he's not recently sacked, come on, sue me.
Well, he's still a senator.
Was he recently sacked?
Regardless.
Was he recently sacked?
Well, we're not gonna
Exactly.
we're not gonna waste time.
Moving
that.
on from that. Now let's go on straight into today's business. I think we're really going to start from the police really today, and it's starting from one of the very interesting stories is how first things first, shout out to you people that live in Lekki, because in the past few months the worst of the worst kind of crime that has been happening in Lagos has been coming out of Lekki, from drugs to I think there was expired drug issue around there. There's a lot of drugs coming out of Lekki area. There were a lot of arrests about fraud made in that area as well. Now, the Lagos State Police Command has now uncovered an arms factory in the Idata community, Ibeju Lekki area. Arms factory.
Yeah.
It's literally a suburb. Let me just keep quiet.
Well, if you follow the security trends, you know that arms factories are more illegal arms factories where they manufacture. I don't know if we can call them manufacture because those things always come out looking crude.
But they manufacture them last.
Yeah, I don't want to use that posh word for it. Where they craft or bring out some weapons. Now the weapons are not funny though. But yes, there are different parts of Nigeria where you hear about those things. I know there's a time when Oka, in Anambra was renowned for this. in recent times, the army uncovered some in the north.
Yeah.
You know, about 2 different states now in the past 1.5 months or thereabout, right? One that was supplying the bandits in Kaduna State, you know. So, yeah, but I've never really heard of this happen in Lagos where they would, have some kind of illegal gun manufacturing setup. And it was born out of the good work that the police were doing. Apparently, some people were arrested, with these weapons. And upon, investigation, they, of course, had to reveal their source and all of that. I think that eventually led to the police, uncovering this arms factory.
Factory, oh. For people that don't know, where stuff is being made, that's what a factory is.
Now, the thing about that is that when I hear this kind of thing, the first thing that comes to my mind is this the only one that exists? Mm-hmm. Who is behind it? Who are the people funding them? Or are they just... are they? God forgive me. You know what they call all these new tech companies?
What?
When they say somebody's just starting a new business.
Really? So you had to use...
Are they just a gun startup?
Really?
Yeah, because and if they are, who are the
Kudos.
who are the backers that are put money into this? These guys, again, would just pick up these weapons and rain and bring down terror upon people, and I'm glad that there are laws, that speak to this kind of things. It would be nice to find out how these ones will end up. But I hope that they would eventually have them speak, so that we can find out all their clientele. Because they must have a list of people they sold to. I mean, they know they keep database. We kind of startup does not keep database.
Stop doing that. Stop saying
but
that.
It's a startup. And when they talk about unemployment and job creation, is this part of the statistics for job creation? Because these people must be dealt with.
Stop it.
They must be dealt with, honestly. But after all said and done, banter and joke and everything, must say kudos to the Nigerian Police Force. It's easy to criticize, but the beauty of what we do here at the bar is that when someone does well...
See, I saw someone say that thing, and the truth of the matter is, as much as we don't like them, you
don't like them?
A lot of people don't. I don't. They're not my top 10 most liked people.
Oh, wow.
I don't hate them, but no. But to me, the truth is that whether you like them or not, if it's easy, go and enroll. It's the truth. See, we need to be saying some things to ourselves. Really, if it is easy like that, everybody else should go and do it too. It's not easy now. You know the amount of people that are in this country. How many people will categorically, would your parents even allow you to join the police force?
Some people cannot lose sleep for anybody. The odd hours that these guys have to put in, amongst other things, So
yeah, so I think that we should actually be coming now when we talk to these people too. Really, I think that they're doing a lot of great work. Talking about a lot of great work and talking about bad eggs, but still staying in Lagos State, where Ladipo Market was opened yesterday, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And as it got opened, of course, the traders there were very jubilant as to the situation of things, because a lot of markets have been closed down. It looks like it's a thing, it's a trend in Lagos now. As far as we know, I think Oyinbo Market has not even been open yet, if I'm correct. Yeah, and that was even one of the first set of markets to be closed. So yes, it's okay to be very jubilant, yeah. But someone had posted a video where a particular person in this jubilant mood, a particular person started shooting sporadically in the air. Mm-hmm. And you will know really it was just some form of celebration. Yeah. But it was completely wrong because there were a lot of people there. And I'm like, this is how people get hit by stray bullets. How is it okay? First things first, where did this person get a gun? Second thing is, why do you think it's okay to just be shooting anyhow just because you're happy? And guess what?
What?
This person is a police officer.
You know, I was saying it now that's how they usually
A mobile police
wrap
officer.
their cartridges and all of that. It is it's a good thing that the police have responded swiftly, and hopefully this change that we seek, this professionalism that we want, we would get it, you know, hopefully. It is extremely dangerous. And I think it was last year where a guy who had a police escort in a similar situation was at a friend's birthday party. I think we discussed it here at the bar. Was at a friend's birthday party somewhere in Lagos. And during the birthday celebration, the police orderly, the guy's police detail or whatever, you know, let go of some bullets. It's maybe like some kind of...
Yeah, and he hit, I think even hit the celebrant or something.
I think it was even his principal that got killed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, someone got killed, other people got injured in a similar situation. So, in raising, you know, a lot of dust about it, it's not just because you feel like you want to talk, but because we want to protect life.
Those things have happened.
We want to protect life and property.
Now, another thing is that I think that, like I said, kudos to Lagos State government for, you know, people had put this out and for the swift response. According to the Lagos State PRO, they're saying that the person in the video is Inspector Istifanos. What is that?
Yeah.
Kwanchi, serving
Very
at the
nice
mobile
name.
police, and he has been brought in for appropriate disciplinary actions. We would like to know what the disciplinary actions are.
Yeah, we always hear about people being brought in, facing orderly room, and all sorts of things.
We'd like to have an update on those things.
It would be nice to let people know what happens, what transpires beyond the press statements and the photo ops and the pictures.
First things for me is that this person, this reckless police officer, is off the street.
Thank God.
That's the first thing for me. Another thing I think that a lot of people are not realizing is that I'm sure the person that made this video most likely, because for him to make a video while someone is shooting, he didn't think there was anything wrong with it.
What about all the people who were around him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, all of them were all still, you know, jubilant and all that.
It's part of the celebration now.
What I'm saying is that people should realize that when you put things out, first things first, it could pop. It could go anywhere where in the age of IT and all that, things go viral in seconds. Secondly is that whatever it is that you're doing, you never know who is making a video or what posting what. So maybe, just maybe, everybody needs to... It probably would... The fear of going viral should probably give people a sense of...
That's not how it works, sadly.
No, what I mean is it should give people a sense of wanting to do the right thing. Just because...
Let me use...
I'm doing is it might go viral.
Let me use a light situation to paint why what you're saying is not going to be tenable. When you go to parties, you know, do you like being recorded when you're eating?
No.
Is this something that you're cool with? Like, oh, you're eating and they bring a camera to your face and you continue eating. Is it something you like?
No.
You'd rather not, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's one thing that I don't like too. So guess what? When I'm eating at parties, I look around like, I beg, I don't want anybody recording me while I'm eating. You know, hey, that's not why you are here. I'm not the reason why you came to the party. But guess what? There are times when you be completely oblivious of
what?
Of that. Do you understand? You might be caught up in the sweetness of the food. or maybe the conversation you're having with a friend or an acquaintance or someone who's just sitting across you on the table or something. Do you understand? And you get recorded. Do you get what I'm saying? So, no matter how self-conscious you are, you can still be caught off guard. No matter how self-conscious you are.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't be caught off guard, though. I'm
You
saying
are asking for people to be self-conscious, like to be careful. And I'm saying that no matter how careful you are, you will still go viral. But you know
that, yes, the idea of eating out or maybe not liking someone taking your food, even if it goes viral, is not a criminal offense.
I am saying that it applies to all human nature. That the same way you are saying that, oh, if you are doing something like this guy who's shot sporadically into the hair, he's probably been doing it for years.
Oh, yes.
Do you understand? So it's happening in a day where he was even smiling into the camera.
Oh,
Do you
it was
so
feeling
that's
cool
what I'm
with himself.
saying, that as human beings, we always think we're bringing up our guard or we are setting up our guard, but there are times when you let your guard down, and there are times when you just even know. With anything, that's what life is. A lot of people get caught with pants down. I mean, literally pants down, you know. And a million people have been in that same position and nothing happened. Do you understand? So it's just human nature. Yes, you can advise them and all of that, but I'm saying that it's not going to stop today. As we speak, someone somewhere is being recorded doing something that they don't want to do, or they don't want people to see them, do. So it's human nature. And the advent of the camera is going to be the undoing of many people. Many people.
So maybe think twice before you do the illegal thing you want to do. You never know which one is going to be caught on camera. Would I say that I feel for this man? Maybe not. I don't.
The truth, again, policemen or military people or gun-wielding Nigerians shooting sporadically into the hair is a thing. It's a thing. It's. I don't know how it became a thing, because I know that the army has their 21 gun salute and all of that, but they do it. They do it at funerals. You see them at parties. They do these things. Sure, you get, but it's just that it has to stop. It's completely dangerous and it's unprofessional. So kudos to the police for calling this guy out, and hopefully they'll make him pay and let other policemen learn from this and other military people learn from this.
Yep. Anyway, let's move on from that and let's move on to Kano. Still talking about the police, where the Kano State Police Command have now announced that they converted 50 repentant thugs into special constables. And I think this conversation started when somebody put out a social media post again that a person that was arrested a while ago, that was wanted a while ago, is now a police officer.
Yeah. So that is the story according to, I think, Sahara reporters. They broke that story. And, of course, the guy, the former criminal, in quotes, was in a police uniform of sorts, and the police commissioner of the state was there and all of that. But apparently there's a story behind it. It is not the way Sahara reporters painted it.
Oh, yeah, they do that a lot.
It's not exactly like that. So the commissioner of police in Kwara, in Kano State, has responded, And, of course, if you check that other tab, you see that he's responded and he said something like, the state governor had granted amnesty to about 220 thugs, in quotes. I use the word thugs because that's what they said. Political thugs and all of that. So they had been granted amnesty. And of the 220, since they've been granted amnesty, you can't arrest them. Yeah. Do you understand? About 50 of them, indicated their interest to support the police work and do stuff. And this particular guy was one of that 50. So what the police commissioner did was to bring them close. And they actually have a system where they are allowed to bring in people to work as I think it's called constabularies or something like that.
The truth is that...
And in his own response, he said that he knows that Sahara reporters do not have a reporter on ground in Kano. He knows that the Nigerian police does not have a police academy there that would when we dare absorb them into the police and train them and make them policemen, that all of those things are false, and that is disappointed that they decided to run with that story without checking the back.
When do people actually start getting sued for writing just anything in this country?
Apparently, nobody does get sued, and the few that get called out for it, they do it again. They become popular on social media. They say hashtag free somebody.
Anyway, for me, I think that especially if these people are rehabilitated, yes, did they do a lot of crime? Yes, it could. It can be a very sore topic to talk about.
The funny thing?
But
because you said this, I remembered one line from the Commissioner of Police in Kano. He said that when you check the guy's records, he has no criminal record whatsoever. Not a single case. Not a case in court. Nothing in the police.
For me, funny enough, is that even if they do, I think that at times some of these people are the ones that know the terrain. They probably would help you with a lot
community
of intelligence
policing,
than you yourself can gather.
Yeah.
We'll see how hackers that hack into people's systems are brought in to help guard the same system they try to hack.
Yeah.
And all that. That probably, I'm not saying it's because it's a very, very, it's a very blurry line, because some people that might have been that might have suffered in the hands of these people might feel that these people need to be punished and all that. But in the real sense of it, there's also the angle where these people might be useful, might do a lot, especially from the angle of intelligence gathering. These people probably know a lot of the terrain more than a police officer that was brought from Abia
or Lagos.
Yeah. So they might be especially the ones that have repented, they might be a good source of information.
Yeah, fantastic resource people too, knowing the terrain, like you pointed out. And of course, that's one of the things that they brought them in for.
Yeah, so
but they're not policemen.
They're definitely not policemen. Now, quickly before we move on, the Senate has now confirmed the EFCC chairman and secretary.
All right.
So now moving on from that and talking about appointments that the president had made. Like I said, he decided to do things that he does in the middle of the night. Not technically middle of the night, but anyway, at night chat. Anyway, just a few days ago, I wanted to break the story of the human rights lawyer Femi Falana going on about how the president has the ICPC and the EFCC chairman from the same zone and all that. And maybe he spoke too soon. Maybe just me. Because the truth was that the ICPC chairman that was there as at the time he made the statement was not appointed by this president. So there was probably at some point going to be some change. Maybe at times we should be coming down a little bit before we
I'd like to disagree with your last line about people should be coming down and all of that. I think Mr. Falana had done the very right thing by pointing out what is right by law, because we also need to be guided by the law.
But the thing is that there was actually not, it wasn't like
the fact that you have something in the works, you have something planned, does not mean that it should not be pointed out when you have erred, or you are erring, or you are about to err. You're about to make a mistake or something, yeah? In the sense that maybe the president should have done the ICPC and EFCC appointment same day. Maybe that would have avoided all of the, talk about stuff. But it is true. And that's why I think he prompted them to release what they released when they released it. They might have had this plan. Maybe they wanted to mention the new ICPC chairman, but you know how everything is done piecemeal, and now at times they have to vet not at times, they have to vet
Also, like the
their
law of security,
appointees,
especially
and so
with
many
these
things.
security agencies.
So
and
that's
all that.
what the president wanted to do. I assume that's what he wanted to do. But what he did is contrary, because at the end of the day, for that short period, although the then nominee had not been confirmed, you get, so they could stand on that to say, well, he has not been confirmed. It's when he's confirmed that they might be in contravention of the Federal Character, Act or whatever.
Okay, now, so due to that, the president had yesterday announced the appointment of Mr. Musa Aliyu, who was the Attorney General of Jigawa State. Okay, so do we say that there's something with lawyers? Because if I'm correct, too, the EFCC chairman too is a lawyer.
Yeah, well, they're not necessarily have to be. I mean, the EFCC does not have to be lawyers, but
no, I
being
know.
a lawyer
I'm just
is
saying
an
that.
added advantage.
I'm just saying now that maybe
for
it's
him.
a thing that the.
But the ICPC chairman, they're usually, around that area. They're usually someone who is, vast in law and everything. So I don't even see anything special about it. The only thing I want to point out, because I've been doing it since he started appointing people, is that for the first time, there are 3 names mentioned, and there's no Yoruba person there, so thank God. Don't get it twisted. I'm Yoruba, but people have been pointing out that he's made a lot of appointments.
Oh, yeah, with the PTDF
So at least the 3
and,
appointments that came out same time yesterday, no Yoruba person was there, because we're still in that position where we look at tribe, and we look at religion,
and then everybody's
everything.
suspicious about everything that happens. So yes, yesterday he made announcements about the ICPC chairman, the secretary, and the chairman. Basically, new management for NAHCON. I think the National Hajj Commission.
Then, carry on when you're done.
And the presidential
PTDF. So again, the thing that I also wanted to point out is that virtually every president that comes in freshly has about 2,000 to 5,000 appointments to make.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are like, yes, he hasn't even scratched the surface yet.
He has not.
Like at some point, all the ambassadors are going to be recalled. I think some of them had been recalled earlier. So
yes, a few have been recalled.
So at some point, ambassadors will be recalled. The parastatals, the federal government owned companies and all of that. The MDAs generally, they need to put in their own people so that they can get the kind of result that they want. In some instances, the people who are serving will be asked to continue.
Yeah. So So that is that on the president's announcements. Now, moving on from that, and let's move on to a bit of things that we talked about yesterday and a few updates from that. First things first is Governor Akeredolu. It's interesting how, I don't know, maybe it's the way I see what I see, how people feel that some of their statements are not indicting.
I get you.
So, an aide of the governor had come out to say that the governor needs special housing to recover, and that is why he's in Ibadan, Oyo State, and that's why he's not in Ondo State. Number one, what kind of housing is it that cannot be moved to Ondo State? Number two, it means the governor is not well. Shouldn't he, for someone that needs special housing, why are you still a governor?
This is a big problem with African politicians. And I'm African, sadly, and gladly. But sadly in the sense that we still have this sit tight, hanging on to power mentality that we must let go of. Now the state is on the losing end. Ondo State in Nigeria is on the losing end. Why? Mm-hmm. The governor is not on ground to do his job fully. So what it means is that people will be going to Ibadan for approvals, for meetings and work to get done. And Ibadan is in, for those of you who don't know, is in another state entirely. So picture the governor of Florida, you know, is now living in Atlanta. It doesn't make sense. Let's be honest with ourselves. It doesn't make sense. Now, what makes it worse is that he's at loggerheads with his deputy. We know even his immediate past deputy, the one before this one, is being charged to court for alleged stealing. I have to put alleged on my own part. When they get to court, they'll sort it out. You know, so it seems that Governor Akeredolu is prone to having these frosty relationships with his deputies. And now that he has picked this deputy that he picked for the second time, he can't trust him enough to hand over power to him. So why do you guys pick these people that
these people
pick?
in the first place? So, you know, according to the interview that his aide had, is talking about how for about 6 years, Governor Akeredolu has been living in the presidential lodge, which is a 2-bedroom apartment. And
Presidential lodge or governor's lodge?
Presidential lodge.
In Akure?
In Akure.
Okay.
That the governor's lodge is not good. So for like about 6 years, he has been living.
The governor's lodge is not good.
Yeah, there is something wrong with the governor's lodge.
Who's going to fix it?
You've been governor for 6 years.
Oh, maybe the councillor
I'm not
can.
sure
The councillor of that area.
To
Do you know which local
build a
government?
whole
Do you know which local government the Ondo State Governor's Lodge in Akure is? Let's call the chairman. Maybe he can help the governor fix it.
And now
Are
they
you
say
kidding
that
me?
because he's not feeling too well,
How is that an
he
excuse?
cannot stay in that place again, and they're just renovating where he's going to stay.
See.
And they're almost done.
See.
And
See, African politicians, you are your own problem. But we that keep quiet are the bigger problem. The fact that the governor got ill and he couldn't be treated anywhere in his state, couldn't be treated
it's
anywhere
already
in his country,
major
is
indictment.
an indictment on him and his type. All of them. All of them. The fact that they all have to go outside Nigeria for treatment, and you are governing millions of people. You're the governor.
I don't know how it's not embarrassing to them. I'm sorry. I don't know how you're not embarrassed.
Of your 8-year tenure.
You say you don't have a house to live.
You're talking about the house. You can't build an hospital that can treat you. Then what exactly are you doing? To be honest, what are you doing, sir? What are you doing? And this is the bane of development in Nigeria.
You're very quick to what's it called?
Boom.
Question. He's always writing all sorts of things, and and it's sad
He's a
because
lawyer now.
a lot of these things come back to bite them in the behind.
Yeah, it does.
And for you, I don't even know, even the statement in itself that the person made, the person should be flogged.
6 years. And
how do you say that your principal could not build an apartment for himself in 6 years?
6 years.
Does not even make any sense.
You don't have a befitting governor's lodge in 6 years. What is your legacy? If you cannot build for yourself, how are you going to build for the state?
Build for the state.
You cannot build a world-class hospital that other governors from other states will come to. Then you now run to another person's state.
Keep in mind, this is a Niger Delta state. Keep in mind, this is a state that, other than allocation, they're getting derivation funds. Come on.
If you even
I don't know how he wants to make this work.
If you vote a fraction of your budget to building the state house, let us complain. Let people complain, but let it be like one more.
But at least you are built.
This thing is really nice. You understand? But I don't know. And you look at other states and you see how well their governor's lodge and their governor's residence really looks. Do you get?
Literally, you're the one that's going to live in it. It does not even make any sense. I'm sorry.
Man.
It does not make any sense.
This is extremely disappointing.
Extremely.
And maybe they should have just kept quiet and come out with this kind of statement claiming that where he's supposed to stay in Akure is not up to par.
Like, seriously. I don't understand what you people are doing.
It's disgraceful.
Anyway, still talking about Ondo State, the court has now issued an arrest warrant on the former deputy governor of the state for alleged stealing.
Yeah. We mentioned that earlier.
No, you just said it in passing.
Okay. Regardless, it's still the same scenario. Now, for those of you who do not know, the former deputy governor, I think his name is Ajayi.
Yeah, Agboola Ajayi, the man that moved to 3 parties, was in 3 parties in like less than 6
He had
days.
a falling out with his principal, which was Governor Akeredolu, and he moved to one party like that. I think it was PDP that he moved to, I think. Yeah. He moved to the PDP with the hope that he was going to get. Sadly for him, they didn't just give it to him on the platter.
Excuse me, not sadly for him, stupidly for him.
Sadly,
No.
on my part, for him.
Sad,
You know?
not sad, stupid.
Okay, I don't agree, but that's what she said. So
Because how does a whole sitting deputy governor want to move to another party and he's not...
you should have negotiated with them before
and
moving.
he's not
You should have
confirmed
sorted
that
it
he
out.
was going to get the
You know?
ticket. That's the and then you move, and then you now had to do primaries with every other person again. Come on, you're a deputy governor. You have something you're bringing to the table.
A sitting deputy governor.
No.
Then he moved to the third party in the space of 1 month. I don't want to say 2 weeks. And at the end of the day, he still ended up losing out, and Akeredolu got re-elected with Aiyedatiwa as his new deputy. And the same deputy now and Akeredolu seem to be at loggerheads already. We're hearing that they're not going to impeach him anymore. They're not going to impeach him anymore. So from the look of things, they might allow him see out his tenure.
Now, so, according to the former deputy governor that he was talking about, the story is that this story was as far back as 2018, where it was said to have obtained a brand new Toyota Camry valued at 5.4 million then under false pretenses and theft.
All right.
It was said he took the car off the dealer and did not pay him his money.
This one's serious. It's not even those vehicles that they said he took away from the state house.
No. Oh, that was what you thought it was?
That's what I thought.
Oh, no. No.
So the dealer has gone to court now.
Yes.
So
And
it's not even the state government
issue
that's
with
suing.
the issue with it is that he had been sued and he has been asked to appear in court several times.
And he didn't show
And
up.
he didn't. So now
And he didn't quickly pay behind,
I just want to go to 5.4 million.
your former deputy governor. He shall be collecting pension
He
now.
will.
He was not impeached now, so he'll be getting pension. You remember most of these states, they have pension for life. And that's the life of politicians. Just get to a certain level and you would be covered for life.
Anyway, Sha,
Why do people still struggle?
they are saying now that the court has now given an arrest warrant for him, put out an arrest warrant for him to be arrested anywhere he...
Shame. It's
This
a
man
shame.
has a lot of drama around him, Sha.
It's a shame. And if he gets convicted for this one, he can't contest the next election, can he?
Please, I don't know.
He can't. No.
Maybe not.
He can't.
Anyway, moving on from that, talking about alleged theft. As according to the Benue State Government, they're saying that the former governor Ortom, had opened more than 600 bank accounts in the name of the government.
For what?
And only released 25 during handover.
So he has 575 bank accounts belonging to the state in his possession. And those accounts have monies in them. Wait, please. How do you even open bank accounts in the state's name with the TSA and all of those things that have been set up? How is it even possible in the first place?
I don't know why. TSA is federal now.
But the states also copied these things. Now.
Maybe not. Benue State. Now they're saying the finance commissioner said the government was shown only 25 accounts when he took over office, but information coming from the Nigerian interbank system has said that the state had over 600 bank accounts.
Why do you even need 600 bank accounts?
I'm wondering.
Oh my God. Nigerian politicians will never fail to amaze you. 600 bank accounts for the state. You're no longer the governor after spending 8 years and you're still holding on.
They're saying also that
Don't you even need all those your BVN and stuff to operate these accounts?
I don't know. I'm a governor, so maybe those accounts are different. Also, they're alleging that the new government had inherited about 359 billion naira debt, which includes, that's the part that you local government arrears.
Oh,
How are you owing local government?
but it's not possible because the federal government sends this money every month.
Exactly my point. How is the state owing local?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Oh my God.
How long are we going to do this for?
They're saying that local government also have their own debts. They say there's unpaid salaries, pensions, gratuities, local contractors of about 150 billion naira.
Wow.
Please.
How
much is your Benue? How much do they
the
make?
same person that has been alleged to have opened the 600 bank accounts was with the president yesterday.
Yeah.
And so he's in Nigeria. What's holding them? What's holding
So there has to be a conversation. At least, does he have immunity anymore now?
Yeah.
Abi?
And you can't hold an entire state to ransom now for what?
That's a lot of money. I think that is really and truly a lot of money that needs to... Anyway, moving on from that quickly, let's go to Lagos. Come back to Lagos State, where Lagos has now said that they're out to seal bars, churches, and mosques, and any other place that is causing environmental nuisance. They're talking about noise pollution, air and water pollution, debris. You don't have proper waste management and all that. They say that they are not going to hold back, and they're shutting things down whichever way that is in the way of.
It looks like in Lagos now there are only two ministries.
The Ministry of Transport and Ministry of Environment.
Environment and water resources. Now, honestly, it's always with mixed feelings when I hear this kind of things. On the one hand, I'm happy that they're clamping down on the noise levels. I lived in a part of Nigeria one time, not too far from here.
I lived in a part of Nigeria. I like that. Yeah.
Where, God, there were churches that would start playing music on their loudspeakers as early as 4:30 a.m. I kid you not, 4:35 a.m. And in between that cacophony of 2 or 3 churches playing these loudspeakers every day, except on Sundays when they now have their regular services from 9 till God knows
forever.
when. In fact, we shared a border.
Yeah,
we shared a
now that I
fence.
remember, I actually used to leave house.
We shared a fence with
a
church
God.
that would start their service, as early as 8:39 in the morning, maybe when you're stepping out to go to church or this that you want to go to church, and you're back from church and they're still at it. They're still there, still going out. I'm not saying they shouldn't worship their God, but the noise level should not be that high. And trust me, these guys go all out to make noise. And their service doesn't end until like 4, 5 p.m., at times 6 p.m. So the old day is gone. Now, these people will make noise where you live, then
and they go home and go and sleep. That's the one that used to piss me off the most. Like, that's the one that pisses me off the most. We need to stop these things.
Look, you can serve God with those loudspeakers inside your church and even make the place soundproof. That's the truth. You're not evangelizing by making noise to your neighbors. You're just pissing them off. You're not drawing them close to God. Be you Christian or Muslim, you might not want to hear it, but it's the truth.
You're not doing anything that is...
Because the noise at times is so
It's annoying.
painful.
It is
Some
annoying.
people, which I fall into that category, don't even sleep well until it's in the wee hours of the morning, and that's when you start your oh my God, I'm like, whoa. So yes, I am all for this. Now the mixed feelings I have is that how sustainable is this? How sustainable?
After this government goes...
It's not this... Under this very Lagos State government you're talking after. You know, this is usually what you get when there's plenty ginger and this is what we want to achieve. Then,
funny enough,
after,
maybe, yeah, true, Sha.
I'm talking from experience. I want to be proven wrong. After a short while, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, things go back to normal.
Normal, yeah. We'll see. We definitely will
Markets
follow
start springing
all
up
this,
in the middle of
and
the
then
highway again.
We see where it's definitely going to lead us. Now, moving on from that, and talking about an update of what happened yesterday. A certain recently sacked senator had accused the Senate president. Why are you shaking your head?
Because I want to shake my head.
No, that's not true.
I'm shaking my head for you now. That's why I'm shaking
Why
my
are
head.
you shaking my head?
A senator is a senator.
Was he recently sacked?
I'm not a big fan of this particular
Was
senator.
he recent? It's just a question.
Is he a senator?
Was he recently sacked?
Is he a senator?
Answer my question.
Is he a
Was
senator?
he recently sacked?
Yes. Is he a senator?
Exactly.
You answer.
No.
He's not a senator.
No, he's not a sitting senator. No.
Did I say sitting? Is he a senator or not?
No.
Is Bola Tinubu a senator?
No.
Bola Tinubu is not a senator.
No.
Remi Tinubu?
No.
Dolupo, you don't know book.
Because
I am glad to announce to the world
no.
that you do not
See,
know book.
because it is just a title.
Dolupo.
Are they senators?
Senator, always a senator.
Are they senators? No, they're not.
Once a senator, always a senator.
Nope. I do not agree.
You don't make the rules. You don't even have such powers. You are abrogating to yourself powers that you don't have.
As I said, recently
You are just
senator,
displaying your ignorance. You are disgracing us.
disgracing who?
Us.
I don't need your disgrace. So
No, you are disgracing us because a senator is a senator.
I don't need to
Just
rub
look
off for
at
you.
you.
I don't need to rub off for
Ah.
you. Keep your...
Senator is a senator. And so get back to the story.
Anyway, going back to the story. Recently sacked Senator Elisha Abbo.
Oh, you just called him senator.
Recently sacked Senator.
You called him senator.
No, recently sacked Senator.
You called him senator. Why did you just say recently sacked Elisha Abbo?
No, how you know where was recently sacked?
Exactly my
No,
point.
recently sacked
Look at
senator.
the contradiction in
No,
you.
no, I
It
said
didn't even
recently
take you
sacked
2
senator.
minutes.
Nope.
A senator
Nope.
is a senator.
Nope. I do not agree.
Anyway, you shouldn't have said that. Just say recently sacked Elisha Abbo.
No, recently sacked Senator Elisha Abbo
The world
has
can
now
see it.
come out to now
see it.
tender his apologies to the Senate president, saying that he now believes that the Senate president had nothing to do with his sack. And I'm wondering, he said, according to him, that after speaking to him and the Senate president swore on his mother's grave, he finally believes that the Senate president did not know anything about it. My question is that how do you make such huge allegations
These are
if you are supposed to be a respected person? Wasn't it a few weeks ago that he was crying, was foolish cry all over the place?
These are the people that are making laws for Nigeria. So ever wonder the quality of laws that you get, the quality of policy statements, the quality of monitoring, and the quality of oversight functions? That is it. A man gets sacked by the courts. He comes out a few hours after to make a pronouncement. You see, it was not written. If it was written, he can blame his assistant to say, oh, I didn't ask them to put that out. It was not approved. Check the statement. I didn't sign it. Do you understand? He actually called a press conference, and on video, he said what he said.
Like you called a whole press conference,
And this is why we're still...
Why are you...
This is why we're still...
I'm sorry, why is
where
the
we are.
Senate president having a conversation with him? At this point, he should have been sued. And if it's not even just about the Senate president, I think it's even little bit on the Senate president. I think it was a major indictment on the judiciary.
Again, the Nigerian...
saying that the judiciary can be paid off.
The Nigerian Judicial Council, the Supreme Court, the appeal, all of them must do something about this, because what this guy is saying is that someone as high up as the Senate president can manipulate the outcome of judgment. If that is the case, and the Nigerian Judicial Council do not respond, they don't say anything, you can't blame anybody else
for making such statements.
Anybody else that doubts any judgment that is passed.
Exactly.
Henceforth. So they need to come out and make a statement and say, we didn't even know what this guy is talking about, and for this reason, we are now suing him.
Exactly.
Because something, you can't just come today and say,
you can't just make such heavy
this is what
statements.
The judges did. Then the next day you say you're apologizing. Now, he didn't apologize to the court. He's apologizing to Akpabio, who reached out to him.
I think it's completely wrong anyway. Anyway, also the Senate has now stepped down the consideration of a motion for the reopening of the Nigeria-Niger borders.
It's one of the dumbest things that anybody would want to push. You're pushing this agenda, and
so Senator Sumaila of the NNPP from Kano said that the border closure had deteriorated economic activities in major border towns like Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, Kebbi, Jigawa, Borno, and Yobe states.
Again, I think it's one of the dumbest things that anybody would do.
Yeah.
You are at loggerheads with a country, and we're still trying to find out how to sort the things out, and you're going to pass a bill, sponsor a bill, that we should just open the border without those people coming back to talk and say things that they should say.
According to the Senate president, he had talked about how there was a resolution by the Senate to back the resolutions from the ECOWAS. So there's no
supersedes
conversation.
Anything you're coming with, and you're now coming with your own personal agenda that they should open border. Why should they open the border?
And do we even know the amount of security implications that will cause? Let's be thinking.
How did these people make it to Senate?
You wonder. You understand? You actually wonder. Are you people thinking?
How do you make it? So Nigeria now will now come and say, okay, based on what the Senate has said, we're opening the borders. What will ECOWAS say? What will they do?
Let's be.
Have small sense now. Just small. You don't need plenty.
At times, you wonder, this in the house, and maybe when they make those resolutions, were you around, or were you even listening?
You see, it's the problem of that tunnel vision. When you're just in one place, you don't see.
I don't think some of them were around, or probably they were not listening when they were making these resolutions, because
it reminds
the Senate president has to come back and remind you of what the House said.
This senator that wanted to pass this bill reminds me of.
It's a new senator, so
new or old. He just reminds me of all those artists that go to the studio, and in their mind, they think they have dropped the hottest. But we all know now what happens eventually.
Oh my God!
It sounded good when you were singing in the shower, right?
Yeah, it sounded good when he was thinking about it. But don't they have legal aids and all that? I ain't supposed to bounce off ideas. This one will listen to legal aid. This kind of person will listen to a legal aid. This one that will think about it in the first place. Anyway, lastly, before we leave the Senate, the Senate president announced today that Senator Lola Ashiru is now the new deputy leader of the Senate. This is a senator from Kwara North, as he replaces the former governor of Benue State, Umahi, who is now the Minister of Works. It's probably the shortest serving senator.
We can't say, we have to check.
True, Sha. True. Very true. Very true. Very, very true. Because the court might have sacked somebody before.
It's Nigeria. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Now, quickly, before we go, let's do a little bit of updates from Israel. So, the last thing that really made a lot of headlines was where there was a missile attack on a hospital in Gaza, where it said hundreds of people had died, and there were talks about
and lots of children. Yeah,
Israel was the one that was behind it, and Israel had come out to say that it's Hamas. Now, the latest is that they had now released a recording where there were conversations that it was actually a misfired missile from Hamas.
That's what Israel is saying.
Yes, that's what the recording said.
Whoever did it, Israel or Hamas, I think these people are terrible, and I think that they don't care about the people they claim that they are fighting for and protecting. I think that this war is a senseless war. It's a needless war. And again, too many innocent people are being killed. I also think that Israel needs to sit down and talk to Palestine and let them come up with a solution that is permanent, because
this back and forth can't
it's
continue.
going to continue. They're just going to keep doing it. I don't know, honestly, because I'm just more pained at the number of lives that have been lost in such a short time, the amount of destruction that has gone up. I don't support the war. It was instigated. You were angered by Hamas. We get all of that. So Hamas and Israel, please sit down and solve these problems. Please let someone bring them to the table. A lot of global powers are aligning with Israel. I don't think that's the plan. What they should be doing is
finding a way to get a resolution.
Let's end this thing. Let's even get the ceasefire. Now that they are talking of a ground offensive, if that starts.
Anyway, finally, before we go, there've been a bit of friendlies, a bit of World Cup qualifications, a bit of Euro qualifications, a lot of qualifications and football, international football all over the place. Has been very interesting. One that interests me is how US beat Ghana 4-0. I don't understand.
Well,
what's happening with
I didn't watch
countries?
it, so I really can't say anything about it.
Also, there's talks of Uruguay defeating Brazil, Peru, and Argentina defeating. There's been a lot of.
Lionel Messi was in imperial form.
It's interesting. Also, the England also defeating Italy.
Fantastic game. Italy put up a fight. It was a nice game, but I only have 2 words, or shall I say, Jude Bellingham. That's all I have to say. Jude.
Whatever.
Any other thing after that? Harry Kane scored 2 goals. I hear.
Yeah, we get it. But
Jude Bellingham.
Anyway, whatever he's doing is. I think that let's talk too much.
It's come of age and it's just it's amazing.
It's amazing. I'm just hoping. I'm holding on that we've seen a lot of people after the likes of Messi and Ronaldo here. That you see these flashes of greatness and then, boom. So I'm like, I hope that we do not see another of those again. I hope that it's an upward trajectory. Finally, before we go. X, formerly Twitter, has now begun charging people in New Zealand and the Philippines, new users, $1 to get X, like basic features that we get for free.
Yeah, they said we too will start paying. Those of us that are not doing blue tick will start paying. Sad part is we're so into this app, and the people who have tried to come against it, they have failed. Even the threads that everybody jumped on. Some people don't open their threads anymore. If you go and check now, it's now they've changed the logo looks like cobweb at this stage now. So Mr. Zuckerberg, you retreat. Go on, maybe you change the name.
Whatever is happening, me and Sha know that if you tell me to start paying for 80,
you will pay this $1. You will see. You will see. You will see.
More.
Okay.
Remember that Nigeria cards don't even work with it.
Who told you?
Anyway,
somebody that is paying Nigerians all those money. Is there no way they are paying?
I'm not going out of my way to pay those things.
I will pay.
Anyway, on that note, that is
I will pay.
Be able to take on
I like X or Twitter. I will pay.
We'll be back again tomorrow, but please like, subscribe,
share,
follow, share our videos. Tweet at us on Boom Radio NG. Send us a message. We're Boom Radio NG on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Threads.
Or Cobweb.
Oh my God, really. At Boom Radio on Facebook. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time. Why am I laughing so much?
Cobwebs.
We'll be back again at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.